Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another daily update video. It is the middle of the trading week. It is the end of the market on Wednesday, and not a good day in the market, right? But if you saw my videos last night, you know there was kind of an inkling that this was going to happen, and I'll touch on that towards the end of this video. But we have a lot to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about, obviously, like we do every day, on the overall market. We're going to talk about my trade on AMD. I'm going to talk to you about my technical analysis on SPY and what I think the S&P 500 is going to do tomorrow and possibly Friday to close out the week. And then I want to end the video by talking about TSM, or Taiwan Semiconductor. They have their earnings coming up tomorrow before the market opens, and I think that is going to be a juicy stock tomorrow morning. So let's get right into it. Taking a look at the heat map here, like I alluded to, a lot of red on the board, right? Tech wasn't that red. I mean, Google, Apple, Microsoft was pretty much flat, but Amazon got hit pretty hard, down 2.3, Facebook down 1.5. Semis did not have a good day except for Qualcomm. Qualcomm was up almost 2%, whereas Nvidia, AMD were all down around 1%. So, as you know, let's get right into AMD stock and go to Robinhood here. So as we can see, we opened up green. We were up actually about 0.7% pre-market, so we were looking pretty good. But then as soon as the market opened, within the first 5 minutes, we sold off to be down 0.6%. And then that really wasn't the end of it. Unfortunately, we just kept selling off for the rest of the morning till a low of about down 1.7%. By basically the first hour of trading, we did rally, thought maybe that might be just the early morning dip, and then we're going to rally for the rest of the day. But then around 11:45, just before noon, had another big sell-off to the daily low of a little over down 2%. And that was actually the daily low. And then we slowly rallied all day long. And then again, we dipped pretty significantly in power hour. So we ended up closing the day down, like I said, a little over 1%. Still continued to sell off after hours, down another 0.5% after hours. But then we've kind of rallied a little bit and are now trading flat. Currently, as the recording of this video, AMD is trading for $84 and some change. So we are down about 1.25% compared to yesterday. You know me, if you've been following my videos, I own 200 shares of AMD at $85. At least that's what I was assigned at. I have 2 covered calls that I've sold on Monday, or 2 trading days ago, for not this Friday expiration, but October 23rd. And I sold them for $1.30 in credit per share, or basically $130 for max profit for each contract. And I sold them at the 90 strike. So because we had a red day today, I'm looking pretty good on those covered calls. You can see they're only trading for $84 right now. So I sold them for $130. They're trading for $84 if I wanted to buy them back. So I am up $46 per contract right now, times 2 contracts. So I'm up just shy of $100 right now on those contracts. So not a bad day today. Kind of wish they would drop harder, to be honest with you. I was looking to get at least maybe a 30 to 40% profit towards the middle of the day. And then I was thinking about closing out those options early. And then maybe if we have a green day tomorrow or Friday, selling some new covered calls to kind of scalp more premium. But you know, we never really sold off that much in terms of the premium. So right now, these options are worth somewhere around 30% profit at the end of the trading day. So I was really hoping to get closer to 40% by tomorrow, maybe 50%. We'll see if we have another big red day tomorrow. And I think we might have a red day in the market, which I'll touch on towards the end of the video. But I think AMD might be green. So let's just take a look at the technical analysis chart on AMD, like I said, and see what the TA showed today. So this is the daily candle chart. So every candle here represents 1 day of trading. I'm going to zoom in here. And just a quick shout out, if you haven't seen the video where I've done the technical analysis on AMD, go check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. But here's the interesting thing. I've had this trend line drawn at roughly $83 and some change for quite some time now. And that's actually right where this little thin red line is, which represents the 23.6% Fibonacci level. If I zoom out here, you can see that right there. If I zoom back in, the interesting thing is if you look at this wick, this intraday wick, it basically touched this area of support intraday. And as you can see, we closed above it. So throughout the day, that big dip that I showed you around noontime on the Robinhood trading graph, that represents this price point right here. So this 83 and some change support level, I think has been holding up rather nicely. You can see also back on October 9th and 12th, yes, we did close right below it. We closed right above it the next day, but it looks like AMD does not want to go below 83 right now. So one thing I'm going to look for tomorrow is to see what happens. Do we stay above 83 if we have a red day, meaning do we close somewhere down here? Or if we have a green day, I think that's going to secure that 83 is support right now. If 83 breaks, the next level of support I'm going to be looking at is this pink line, which is the 50-day moving average, and that's at about $82 and some change, so about $1 less than this support level here. So that's going to be my next area of support if we break 83. Now, the reason why I say I am a little bit bullish on AMD is because of the option order flow that I showed you the past 2 trading days. So there actually wasn't a lot of option flow on AMD today, but on Monday and Tuesday, there were a lot of weekly calls that were bought. So that tells me that the smart money or the investors were really looking at making money off calls, meaning they were bullish on AMD this week. So we'll have to wait and see if that pans out. But the overall opinion on the market, I am bearish for the next 2 days. And let's get right into that. So if we could look at this chart on SPY, here's the daily candle for today. And you can see there's an area of trend right here at about 350 that I drew. And then there's another area of trend right at about 347 that I drew today. And I drew that because there is actually a gap that we need to fill, or actually that got filled today from the wick here on October 9th to the bottom of this wick here on October 12th. We actually gapped up. So from right here to right here, we had a gap. And you can see intraday today, we basically filled that gap. So it's going to be really interesting to see what SPY does tomorrow, because we actually have another gap right here from October 8th to October 9th. We also gapped up overnight there. So there's a little gap here from about, let's just say 345 to 347. So there's a $2 wide gap here. And there's a teeny tiny gap right here as well from about October 7th to October 8th, which is probably less than $1. So my concern is that if we have another red day on SPY, well, then we may be looking to fill this gap all the way down to about 345. We're currently trading at just shy of 348 after hours. So that's why I'm concerned about SPY dropping. Now you could say to yourself, well, it looks like you drew this area of support, so why don't we just bounce up and off it? That is a possibility, but the reason why I am bearish on SPY tomorrow is because of the option flow data. So let's get right into that and take a look. So here's the option flow data on SPY. This program is Trade UI, so that's TRADEUI.com. The link is in the description below. I actually have a 5% off discount code for my viewers, so be sure to check it out. But this is all the option flow data on SPY. The red means that these are all puts, green boxes mean calls. As you can see, the last trading hour, much more puts on SPY than there were calls. There's actually only 2 calls on this page of trading. And as we can see, a lot of these are Friday expiration dates. So a lot of puts that were bought on SPY. If we go to the next page here to see a little bit more data, you can see, again, a lot more red on the board than there are green calls. So that tells me the smart money or the institutional investors are buying puts on SPY. And then take a look at these positions. I mean, some of these are hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here's a almost $2 million SPY put that was actually for a monthly for November 20th. So people are short-term bearish on SPY right now. So that's why I think that we are going to have another red day tomorrow, because if you looked at the option flow data yesterday, there was a lot of puts that were being bought on SPY as well last trading day, and we had a red day today. So let's see if we can go 2 for 2 and see how accurate this option flow data is, because this is kind of game changing right now. And that's why I think if we go back to the trading view chart here, that I think that this gap all the way down to 345 may want to get filled tomorrow and maybe even Friday, depending on how long the sell-off lasts. So I am bearish on SPY for the short term. And now, as promised, let's take a look at TSM to finish up the video, Taiwan Semiconductor. They are reporting earnings tomorrow morning before the market opens, and the analysts are very bullish on TSM right now. If you're not familiar with TSM, they actually manufacture these circuits and the semiconductor devices. They actually supply, I believe, AMD and NVIDIA, for example. So take a look at this. 87% of 30 analyst ratings have a buy rating on TSM right now. So here's the option order flow on TSM for today. You can see it's pretty much even, but there are more puts than there were calls bought today, especially more puts towards the end of the day. And I'm not sure if this is due to the smart money thinking that the overall market is going to sell off, or this might be another scenario of buy the rumor and sell the news, because a lot of people are thinking that TSM is going to have great earnings tomorrow morning, but maybe these people are buying puts because they're going to sell the news after the earnings sessions. I am going to keep a close eye on what the option flow looks like right when the market opens on TSM, and maybe I'll look to putting in some play if I see a lot of price action on TSM, either bullish or bearish. We'll have to wait and see. But that is my video for tonight. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. Make sure to check out tradeui.com, and there's tons of option flow data here so you can get your edge in trading. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below and join our Discord server. And happy trading.